Hey out there, legal warriors. Fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. 4 key questions that apply to life and even to criminal law. If you're interested in this area, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. My law firm has been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 20 years. And I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. And as always, I'm just going to jump right into it. Fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. What are you talking about, Lance? What does that mean? Well, this is something I've learned over the years that drives human behavior and human decisions. And if you were to go take a sales course on something, they would talk about, hey, if you're going to advertise, people make decisions on their fears, on their frustrations, on their wants, and on their aspirations. Pay attention, right? Pay attention to commercials. You're going to see a commercial for a bank that says nothing about banking, right? They're going to show a bunch of happy people, having a picnic. Well, maybe that's a want or an aspiration, right? Or you're going to see other types of advertisement that just advertise towards fears, right? And some advertise towards frustrations. Well, life and criminal law is a little bit about sales and getting people to do what you want. So when you're thinking about a criminal case, you have to think about who has the power, right? Who has the power to make decisions about what's going to happen in your case? Well, first of all, and you're going to find an attorney, so that attorney has some power to decide whether or not they're going to take your case or not. There's going to be a prosecutor who has power about what to offer or what not to offer, whether or not to try to put you in jail or whether to dismiss your case. And there's the judge, right, who has the same type of factors going on in their head. And I suggest that fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations of each party have a lot to do with the outcome. So if you were to come into my office and we were to talk about your case, at the end of the interview, almost certainly I would say, okay, tell me what you're afraid of in this case, so I can learn something more about you, right? Some clients might say they're afraid of jail, or some clients might say that they're afraid they're going to be seen differently, or that they're going to be afraid that they're going to let their family down, or we're going to lose their family. And those are important things for me to know in trying to help them feel better, right? To not sell them on the case, but sell them on feeling better that, hey, this can be dealt with. If I say, what are you frustrated about? You'd be surprised at the different frustrations you'll face as a criminal attorney. I'm frustrated because I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I'm frustrated that I got myself in this situation, right? I'm frustrated that the police didn't listen to me. I'm frustrated that I'm going to lose my job from this. So if you can share those frustrations with someone helping you in the criminal system, again, we can help combat those and make sure we understand what your goals are and what's important to you, and that that if you didn't feel heard by the officer, maybe you need to tell the prosecutor that you never got your chance to tell the story, right? And there's one way we can get to that is asking these questions. Wants, what do you want, right? There's another thing to think about in your criminal case. What do you want? Do you want a dismissal? Most people want that, but also some people just say, I want to be back with my family, or I want to not mess up again, or I want to make the victim whole for whoever I stole from, right? And those are important that you get down and figure out what it is you want, because it's so hard to go through a criminal case. It's so hard to be the one that is being looked at and whose life is in livelihood is in jeopardy in some way. And finally, I think the most important question to ask is, what are your aspirations? What do you aspire to in the future, right? What does that bright and shiny future look like? What are you trying to work towards? Why does this matter, right? And if your attorney knows that, if I know that, it's going to help me, try to tell the government and the prosecutor who you are and what's good and what's going on. And so these are why fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations are important for you to share with your attorney and for you to know yourself. But I think it goes further than that. And I was trying to think, what am I going to say in this video? And the more I thought about it, the more this really applies to all the players in the case. When we think about the motivations of the people that are against us in the criminal system to make decisions, it really comes down to fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations also, right? Sometimes a prosecutor won't make a good offer early in the case because they're afraid. I was a prosecutor 7 years. I was afraid. I remember being at the gym. I would be pedaling on the stationary bike or on the elliptical, and I'd see the news flash come up and someone got shot or someone got killed, and I would think, I hope it's not someone I let go, right? And so, the fears of the prosecutor, letting someone go they shouldn't, losing their job for being too lenient, making a mistake, looking bad, those fears, have to be taken into account when trying to predict what's going to happen in the case. The same way with frustrations. A prosecutor can be frustrated about how many cases they have, and therefore they're more likely to get rid of a case. A want, maybe a certain prosecutor wants to be more human focused. When I was a prosecutor, I would ask defense attorneys, hey, tell me about your client. Don't tell me about the case. That's what we have trial for. Tell me about your client. What are we doing to help this person who is in this situation? So, your attorney figuring out the wants of the prosecutor are important. And then I think aspirations, right? That's pretty scary. If you've got a prosecutor who is aspiring to move up to felonies, aspiring to sort of please their bosses, sometimes they can be a harder person to deal with. And so it's just something I want you to think about, that there are humans making decisions in the criminal case. You are, your attorney is, the prosecutor is, and the judge is. And the more you think about what's driving those individualized decisions, they're personal to each person, maybe the less personally you can take the case and realize that they have their own reasons for doing what they're doing, and it has very little to deal with you. So I want you to think about what it is you want, what it is that frustrates you, what you're afraid of, what you need, and what you aspire to. And if you can get clear with that and share that with your counsel, and remember that other people in the system are sort of operating on those same factors, I think you're going to have an easier time, and hopefully you'll get a better result too. And what's really important, at least to me and my firm, is we try to make it so it's easier to get through this mess, right? Because it's just so tough being charged with a crime. So I hope you found this useful. You can tell it's a little bit different video. It's personal to me. It really matters, how people feel, I think, when they go through the system. So if you found it useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get to see it. And more importantly, if you need legal help, you have a criminal matter in the Washington area, feel free to give my office a call. We'll listen to what happened. We'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.